There is something they do not tell you when your pet dies. They say the soul moves on. They say the bond is broken. They say it is over, but that is not always true. Not all animal souls fully depart. Some remain. Some stay close. Some keep the connection alive in ways most people never notice. And if you have felt your pet near you after they passed, you are not imagining it. You are not lost in grief. You are sensing something real. Something that Edgar Cayce understood long before. The world was ready to hear it. Cayce spoke of the soul. He spoke of energy. He spoke of bonds that do not end with the body. And he said clearly that animals, especially those who love deeply, do not always leave when their physical form is gone. They linger, they watch, they wait, not because they are lost, not because they are trapped, but because the bond between you and them was built on something stronger than flesh and bone. It was built on love. And love does not die. You may have felt it. A brush against your leg when no one is there. A sound in the hallway that feels familiar. A dream so vivid you wake up crying, but also comforted. These are not accidents. They are not tricks of a tired mind. They are signs. Signs that your pet has not fully departed. Signs that the connection you shared is still alive, still active, still present in ways that go beyond what we can see or touch. Most people do not understand this. They think death is final. They think the soul moves on immediately, like flipping a switch. But Cayce taught that the soul does not work that way. The soul is energy, and energy does not vanish. It shifts. It transforms. It continues. And when a pet has bonded deeply with a human, that energy does not simply drift away. It stays close. It remains connected. It lingers in the space between worlds, holding the thread that ties you together. This is not about ghosts. It is not about haunting. It is about love. It is about connection. It is about a bond so strong that even death cannot break it. And if you are reading this, if you have lost a pet and felt their presence after, you already know this truth in your heart. You just needed someone to tell you that it is real. Cayce explained that animals, especially pets, do not carry the same kind of soul journey that humans do. They do not reincarnate in the same way. They do not have lessons to learn across many lifetimes, but they do have consciousness. They do have energy. And they do have the ability to stay connected to the people they loved. This is especially true for pets who were deeply bonded to their owners, pets who lived their entire lives with one person, pets who slept beside you every night, pets who looked into your eyes and understood you in ways no human ever could. These animals do not leave you when they die. Not right away. They remain in what Cayce called the etheric plane, a space between the physical world and the higher spiritual realms. A space where energy still exists, where consciousness still flows, where love still connects. And from this space, they stay near you. They watch over you. They send you signs. They let you know they are still here. You may not see them with your eyes, but you feel them. You sense them. You know they are there. And that knowing is not grief playing tricks on you. It is your soul recognizing their soul. It is your energy responding to their energy. It is the bond you built together, still alive, still pulsing, still real. Some people call this imagination. Some people call it wishful thinking. But Cayce knew better. He knew that the bonds we form with animals are not small things. They are not simple attachments. They are soul connections. And soul connections do not end when the body does. They continue. They stretch across the veil. They hold strong even when everything else has changed. This is why you may feel your pet near you at certain times. When you are sad, when you are afraid, when you need comfort. They sense your energy. They respond to it. They come close because the bond between you calls them, and they answer. Not with words. Not with sounds, but with presence, with warmth, with a feeling that wraps around you like a blanket and tells you, without saying anything, that you are not alone. Cayce taught that animals do not carry the ego that humans carry. They do not hold grudges. They do not cling to fear. They do not resist the flow of life and death, but they do remember love. And they do honor the bonds they formed. And when a pet has truly loved you, that love does not disappear. It stays. It waits. It reaches out to you from the other side, gently, softly, patiently, until you are ready to feel it. This is not something you can force. It is not something you can demand. It happens when the time is right. When your grief has softened enough to let the connection through. When your heart has opened enough to receive what they are offering. And when that moment comes, you will feel them. And you will understand that they never really left. The bond between a human and a pet is not built in a day. It is not built in a moment. It is built slowly, over time, through trust and care and love. It is built in the quiet moments, the late nights, the early mornings, the times when you are alone and they are the only ones who stay. It is built through presence, through loyalty, through a kind of understanding that does not need words. And when that bond is strong enough, it does not end. Not even in death. Cayce explained that energy follows intention. When you pour love into another being, that love creates a current, a flow, a connection that exists on the energetic level. And animals, because they are so open, because they do not block or resist, receive that love fully. They absorb it, they hold it, they carry it with them. And when they pass, that love does not vanish, it remains. It becomes the bridge that keeps them connected to you. This is why some pets appear in dreams. This is why some pets show up in moments of deep emotion. This is why you may suddenly feel them near you when you are crying, or scared, or lost. They are drawn to your energy. They feel your pain. And they respond, not because they are suffering, not because they are trapped, but because they love you. And love does not forget. Dreams are one of the most common ways pets stay connected. In dreams, the mind is open. The walls are down. The rational part of you that says, "This cannot be real," is asleep. And in that space, your pet can reach you. They can show themselves. They can let you feel their presence. They can remind you that they are still here, still watching, still loving you from the other side. These dreams are not random. They are not your brain playing tricks on you. They are visits, real visits. Cayce taught that the dream state is a doorway between worlds, a place where the soul can travel, where consciousness can meet, where the living and the dead can touch. And when your pet appears in your dream, clear and vivid and real, they are using that doorway. They are crossing the veil to let you know they are okay, that they are near, that the bond is still alive. You may wake up from these dreams feeling overwhelmed, feeling sad, feeling like the loss is fresh all over again. But underneath that sadness there is also comfort. There's also peace, because you saw them. You felt them. You knew, even if just for a moment, that they are still with you. And that knowing, that brief connection, is a gift, a reminder that death is not the end, that love is stronger than the grave, that the bond you shared is eternal. Some people also sense their pets through intuition, through sudden thoughts, through feelings that come out of nowhere. You may be sitting quietly, and suddenly you think of your pet, not in a sad way, not in a longing way, but in a clear, present way, as if they are right there with you, as if they are trying to tell you something, and in that moment, they are. They are reaching out through the energetic field. They are sending you a message, a reminder, a nudge to let you know they have not forgotten you. Cayce taught that intuition is the language of the soul. It is how the unseen world communicates with the seen world. And animals, because they are so pure, because they carry no agenda, are able to use this language easily. They send you feelings. They send you impressions. They send you flashes of memory that feel more real than anything happening around you. And when you receive these, you are not making them up. You are tuning in. You are opening yourself to the connection that still exists. There are also physical signs, small things, subtle things, things that others might dismiss, but you know, are real. A feather in an odd place, a sound that reminds you of them, a moment when the air shifts and you feel something brush against you. These are not coincidences. They are not your mind playing tricks. They are your pet reaching through the veil, using what little energy they can to let you know they are still near. Cayce said that spirits, including animal spirits, can manipulate small amounts of physical energy. They cannot move mountains. They cannot appear fully in front of you, but they can nudge things. They can shift the air. They can send you a sign that only you would recognize. And when you notice these signs, when you honor them, when you accept them as real, you strengthen the connection. You let your pet know that you are listening, that you are aware, that you are still bonded, even across the worlds. This is not about holding on. It is not about refusing to let go. It is about honoring what was and what still is. It is about recognizing that love does not die, that bonds do not break, that the connection you shared with your pet was real, and it remains real, even now, even after death, even in the quiet, invisible space where most people cannot see. Cayce taught that the bond between a human and a pet is sacred. It is a soul agreement, a meeting of energies, a pact made before birth or in the early moments of life that says, I will love you, I will stay with you, I will be yours. And when that pact is made, it holds, it lasts, it survives death, because it was never about the body. It was always about the soul. But this connection does not last forever. Not in the way you might think. Cayce taught that nothing in the universe is permanent except change. Everything flows, everything moves, everything transforms. And the bond between you and your pet, as strong as it is, as real as it is also part of that flow. It will not stay the same forever. It will change, it will shift. And eventually, it will complete. This does not mean your pet stops loving you. It does not mean the bond was not real. It means that their soul has work to do. It means they have lessons to move through. It means they are on their own journey, just as you are on yours. And at some point, that journey will call them forward. It will pull them away from the etheric plane. It will guide them into the higher realms, where they can continue their growth, their evolution, their return to the source. This happens naturally. You do not need to push it. You do not need to force it. You do not need to tell your pet to leave. They will know when it is time. They will feel the pull. They will sense that you are healing, that you are strong, that you are ready to stand on your own again. And when that moment comes, they will release the connection. They will let go. They will move on. Not because they stopped loving you, but because love, true love, knows when to hold on and when to let go. Some people worry that they are holding their pet back. They worry that by feeling their pet near them, by sensing their presence, they are trapping them. But Cayce taught that this is not how it works. Your pet stays because they choose to, not because you are forcing them, not because they are stuck, but because the bond is strong, and because they want to be near you for as long as you need them. And when you no longer need them, when you have healed enough, when you have found peace, they will naturally move forward. You may notice this shift. You may feel their presence less often. You may stop having the dreams. You may stop sensing them in the room. And at first, this may feel like another loss. It may feel like they are leaving you all over again. But if you sit with it, if you let yourself feel it fully, you will realize that it is not sadness. It is completion. It is the natural end of a chapter. It is your pet moving on to the next part of their journey, knowing that you are okay, knowing that you are strong, knowing that the love you shared will never be lost. Cayce said that when a soul moves on from the etheric plane, it does not forget. It carries the memories, it carries the love, it carries the bond. And even though your pet may no longer be near you in the way they once were, the connection still exists. It has simply changed form. It has moved from the physical to the emotional to the eternal. And in that eternal space, it will last forever. This is the gift. This is the truth. This is what Cayce wanted people to understand. Death is not the end. It is a transition, a shift, a change. And the bonds we form, especially the deep ones, especially the ones built on love, do not break. They transform. They evolve. They continue in ways we cannot always see, but we can always feel. If you have lost a pet, and if you have felt them near you, honor that. Trust it. Know that it is real. Know that the bond you shared did not end when their body did. It continues. It lives on. It connects you across the veil, across time, across space. And even when they move on, even when they release the connection, the love remains. The memory remains. The truth of what you shared remains. And one day, when your own time comes, when your own soul crosses the veil, you will see them again. Not as a memory, not as a feeling, but as a living, breathing presence. You will recognize them. They will recognize you. And the bond that you thought was broken will be whole again. Complete again. Forever. This is not fantasy. This is not wishful thinking. This is the way the soul works. This is the way love works. This is the truth that Edgar Cayce knew and taught and lived. And if you are reading this, if you are feeling this, then you know it too. You have always known it. You just needed someone to remind you. Your pet has not left you. They are still near. They are still watching. They are still loving you from the other side. And when the time is right, when the healing is complete, they will move forward. But the love will remain, always, forever, without end. And that is the truth. That is the promise. That is the bond that nothing, not even death, can break. There is a moment that comes for everyone who has loved and lost a pet. A moment when the grief softens, when the pain becomes something quieter, when the memories no longer bring tears, but instead bring warmth. And in that moment, you will understand what has happened. You will see that the bond you shared was never about possession. It was never about holding on. It was about connection, about love, about two souls meeting in this vast universe and choosing each other. Cayce taught that every relationship we form is by design. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. Every person, every animal, every soul we meet is part of a larger pattern, a greater plan. And when a pet comes into your life, it is not by chance. It is because your soul called for them. And their soul answered. You needed each other. You chose each other. And that choice, that agreement, is sacred. This is why the bond feels so strong. This is why the loss feels so deep. Because it was not just a pet. It was a soul companion, a teacher, a guide. Someone who came into your life to show you what unconditional love looks like, what loyalty looks like, what presence looks like. And when they leave, they do not take those lessons with them. They leave them behind for you to carry, to remember, to live by. And this is the true gift. Not that they stayed with you after death, not that they sent you signs, not that you felt their presence in your dreams. The true gift is what they taught you while they were here. The way they loved you without conditions. The way they stayed by your side without judgment. The way they looked at you and saw only goodness, only worth, only value. That is the lesson. That is the legacy. That is what remains long after their physical body is gone. Cayce believed that animals are here to teach us. to remind us of what we have forgotten, to show us how to live in the present moment, how to love without fear, how to be loyal without question, how to give without expecting anything in return. And when a pet has completed this teaching, when they have shown you everything they came to show you, they have fulfilled their purpose. And their soul is free to move on. But you carry that teaching forward. You carry their love forward. You carry their spirit forward. And in this way, they are never truly gone. They live on in you, in the way you treat others, in the way you see the world, in the way you remember what it feels like to be loved completely. And that is a bond that death cannot touch. Some people ask if they will meet their pet again in the afterlife. Cayce said yes. He said that souls who are bonded in life remain bonded in death. That the connections we form here do not vanish. They continue. They are part of the eternal fabric of who we are. And when your time comes, when you cross over into the higher realms, you will find them. You will see them. You will be reunited. Not in the same form, not in the same body, but in the same energy, the same love, the same recognition. This is the promise. This is the hope. This is the truth that Cayce taught and that countless people have experienced. That love is eternal, that bonds are forever, that the souls we meet in this life are the souls we will meet again in the next, and that nothing, not time, not space, not even death, can separate us from those we truly love. So if you are grieving, know this: your pet is not lost. They are not gone. They are simply in another form, another space, another level of existence. And they are waiting for you, not with sadness, not with longing, but with peace, with joy, with the same love they always had. And when your journey here is complete, when your lessons are learned, when your soul is ready to move forward, they will be there. They will greet you. They will welcome you home. Until then, honor the bond. Honor the love. Honor the connection that still exists, even if you cannot always feel it. Trust that they are near when you need them. Trust that they are watching when you are lost. Trust that they are loving you, always from the other side. And know that this is not the end. It is only a pause, a brief separation, a moment in the vast eternity of the soul. Cayce taught that death is not a wall. It is a door. And beyond that door, the souls we love are waiting, not with goodbye, but with welcome, not with loss, but with reunion. And when you step through that door, when your time comes, you will understand, you will see. You will know that everything you were told was true, that the bond was real, that the love was eternal, that your pet never left you. They were simply waiting on the other side. And in that moment, all the grief, all the pain, all the longing will melt away, because you will be together again. Not as owner and pet, not as human and animal, but as soul and soul, as love and love, as two beings who chose each other, found each other, and will never, ever be separated again. This is the truth. This is the promise. This is what Edgar Cayce knew. And this is what you can hold on to every day for the rest of your life. Your pet is not gone. They are still with you. They are still loving you. They are still waiting for you. And one day, you will see them again. Until then, live well, love deeply. Remember always, and trust that the bond you shared was not just real. It was eternal.